Definitely thunder off in the distance. There's a bit of a darkening to my south. This is probably southeast actually, so this is going to push up a bit closer to us, I think. But there's also a darkening directly to my east, so that looks like it might be coming directly towards me, which is I want to stay out as long as possible, and then hopefully when these push off as well, I'll be able to get out of the car and film some of this. But I want this thing to start dropping bolts really, because I've got this new camera, new setup, and it offers the possibility of being able to trigger after the lightning has struck. But it's not as easy as you think. That sunbeam, that looks well cool. You can see how much moisture there is in the air. Don't know if that comes across, I think it does. But what I want is a big tasty bolt of lightning, big bright one. Right where I'm pointing the camera. And if I trigger it, hopefully that should get captured. Make daytime storms a bit more fun, because I do love a good storm, but there's that part, I guess it's like fishing really. You're casting your line into the sea, hoping to get a bite, and it's exactly the same for me. Point that camera over towards where the storms are, and just hopefully there'll be a nice bolt of lightning somewhere. Come on. It's definitely darker to my east, and that's directly where the weather's coming from, so I'm hoping this convergence line actually moves a little bit further inland, because at the moment I've overshot it. But to be fair, it's fine. Once this cloud covers, then I might actually be able to start seeing some of these bolts. I've heard constant rumbling, but I've not seen any cloud to ground yet. It does look rather menacing over towards the south, but it has gone quiet. Of course, you're always struggling a little bit with daylight storms as well when you're trying to do photography, because obviously all the you've got quite a lot of ambient light still knocking about. Not like nighttime, where obviously lightning is easy to see at nighttime, but during the day either has to be really close or extremely bright. What I wouldn't give for a few extremely bright bolts of lightning at the moment. That's Kestrel over there. Come on. As the old saying goes, give us a big one. There you go, that's for thunder. But again, it seems pretty high up. I need this to start giving off a few more bolts, to be honest. Could throw on some ND filter, but then you're really starting to struggle with capturing lightning. Come on. wind's calmed down a bit. The wind's blowing away from me towards the storms, which they tend to do. That pretty much means that the convergence line is going to be further south. But I want this to be a little bit closer. So the fact that the wind's backed off might mean that the sea breeze is pushing a little bit further inland now. There you go. Got more lightning. Oh, well, more thunder, should I say? Deep rumble off in the distance. Absolutely lovely. I might move position. Definitely some nice thunder in that. Come on, throw out a big bolt of lightning, for God's sake. Looks lovely now. Big crispy bright bolt of lightning. It could be that the actual main really heavy stuff is on the south side of this. Come on. Still rumbling away. Very faint. Yeah, I think we could be all right here actually. Sun's still quite high up. Come on. Come on. Give us a nice big crisp bolt of lightning. I'd say on the stream it's going to be hard to pick up, to be fair, because it is still quite bright. Even though the camera's pretty good at reducing the exposure, it's probably having to up the frame rate extremely, like to an extremely high frame rate to be able to make this come out nicely on the stream. So it's getting darker over there though. Definitely, and there's a nice dark cloud just to my left of me, which is going to pass a lot closer, and if that electrifies, we might be in business here. If I hear anything come from it. So there is a storm in front of us if you tune. Oh well. If anything kicks off. Still rumbling away. It's gone noticeably darker as well, which is good. It's beautiful behind me actually. Nice cumulus, but clearly this is what we came for. I still think it's a good omen that the wind has died down a little bit. But one of the things today was there wasn't going to be a huge amount of lightning. these storms are in quite a high saturated environment, so that tends to limit the amount of lightning that you get. So obviously if a storm gets high enough, it's fine. Yeah, this would have to be an extremely powerful bolt of lightning to be picked up today, I think. Wind's back to blowing behind us, so that could mean either one or two things. It's quite a hefty updraft ahead of us, sucking in lots of air. It's pretty dark over there now. Don't know how well that comes across on camera, but I haven't heard any thunder for a little while. But yeah, what I wouldn't give for a few really nice clean bolts of lightning. I only want one. To prove the theory of whether this camera can do daytime photography or not. Well, daytime lightning photography, to be more specific. And there is a possibility of a few funnel clouds today, so I'll be keeping an eye out for any of them. Except I tend never to really see them. There was one that I saw last June from a shower that was just pushing ashore not far from where I live, and just went upstairs to have a look and noticed what looked like a funnel, and when I zoomed in on it you could see clearly it was rotating. So maybe my luck is changing when it comes to that. But yeah, this seems to have quietened off again. I haven't heard anything from it for a little while. And the bit to the left of me, while dark, it's not all that threatening. But yeah, great views up here. Just not far from Newbury, and behind me there we go, we got thunder again. Nice deep rumble. I don't know whether it's too windy for you to be able to hear it, but there's definitely thunder off in the distance, and I'm hoping this little dark patch, so the bit towards the horizon, which is dark, that appears to be where the thunder is coming from. A bit closer to the top, at that sort of mid area of the screen, you've got a dark patch of cloud leading off to the left. That one is part of probably just a shower at this moment, but I'm hoping that develops further, because if it does, it's going to be right in front of us, so fingers crossed. But this cell off in the distance has woken up again. You can just hear thunder. Yeah, I think I've just gone a bit too far north. I drove past sort of Winchester, thinking that the skies were looking a little bit more threatening, but that seemed a little bit too far south of what was forecast. So I carried on a bit further north, But this is okay actually. If this goes on to develop further and really starts to sort of get some punch to it, it might start throwing out a few bolts of lightning, and if that happens, then I'd consider that a worthwhile trip, to be honest. And I'm still looking out for the odd funnel cloud, because you know there has been one reported over near Horsham, which is pretty cool. It's continued to get a bit darker to myself, but it ain't chucking out that many bolts, not cloud to ground anyway. But that was always the risk today, I think. Like, the chances of getting lightning were deemed to be quite low, but I'm going to keep an eye out, because obviously with these convergence zones you do get little spin-ups, so I don't know typically what side of the storm we should be looking at. This is not a typical frontal thing, so I guess you could get them anywhere within the storm, depending on how they spin up. But they're not moving that quickly. They're not moving quickly at all. Like this bit in front of us now, off in the distance, that's kind of been sat there for the best part of 20 minutes, give or take. You know, I was expecting them to be racing off, but the longer they stick around, I guess the better it is for us. And then if this little lot in front of us develops, then that'll be great. There we go, we just had a rumble of thunder then. It's definitely not Tornado Alley, but when it comes to UK storms, you know, as an avid storm fan, it's been a pretty rough few years, to be honest. We haven't had any decent storms for quite some time, and you start getting withdrawals. So on a day like today, where the risk isn't particularly great in terms of the amount of, I think that I might have just seen a flash then, I'm not too sure. We'll find out in a second. But yeah, when you know, you live in the UK and lightning storms are hard to come by, you find yourself going out to try and find anything you can. I just want to hold off for a second in case that was lightning that I saw. Possibly not. So yeah, I don't know if you tuned into the stream on Sunday, but that was a whole lot of driving around for pretty much naff all. Heavy rain. Might have heard one rumble of thunder, but you know, I think we were in the car for like 7 hours all told, like at the end of it. It's a massive waste of time. Yeah, definitely. So this is the storm at the moment. That is probably just around Andover way. And it's just, I just went a little bit too far north, but I've always kind of said I don't really like to be directly under storms, not when you're trying to film them or photograph them. You know, it can be quite spectacular if you get up close, but one, it's a little bit risky, and two, you know, you just want to be slightly on the edge of it if you can be. But as we know with storms, they're unpredictable, and the road network in the UK is not particularly great, and most of the time I'm chasing by myself, so when I'm on the road and driving, I'm focused on that solely. I'm not going to put myself or anyone else at risk, so yeah. But it does look nice, it just needs to start kicking out something. But yeah, this is a lovely place, this. I'll try try and put the name of the place. I can't remember its exact name. I just chose a spot on the map and thought that looks like a good place, and I just headed off. Set off after work and just arrived here through some pretty horrendous country lanes, narrow track lanes. So that was fun, but yeah. A couple of ramblers probably decided to head home once they heard the thunder. Yeah, my guess is this is probably moving away from me now, actually. You can still hear the thunder occasionally. I can't even look at lightning maps at the moment because obviously I'm being on my phone and streaming. But I'm not seeing any cloud to ground, anything like that. So this is either high up. Doesn't seem all that surface based either. It seemed quite elevated, to be fair, because I'm pretty high up as it is. If you guys, whoever's looking at the stream, if you could let us know what's to the west, sort of Basingstoke way, because that's kind of anything that develops in that area should be pushing my way. So if that's the case, then great, I'll stick around. Otherwise, I might think about heading further back south a little bit, because I can see to my left. Turn this round. This is probably. So that is from the cell directly in front of me for sure, because that's way louder than anything I've heard so far. So what I was hoping to be the case, which was that darkening actually in the centre of the screen, I was hoping that would start to develop, and it appears to have done so. So good news. That sets them on. I'm pretty much on the highest peak around. So fingers crossed I'll be all right here. But yeah, there is quite a nice, decent. Like I think it's the top of the cumulus over towards the left. It must. And I thought I heard more than cars. Nice one. Cheers for that, Weather Log. That's good to know. I don't think this one that's in front of us now is going to be that active. It doesn't appear to be that active. Obviously, it's just started, but you know, I haven't got any wind or anything right now. So it'd be great if it put down a big bolt of lightning in front of us, though, wouldn't it? There you go. Or even a nice funnel cloud would be even better. There you go. I'm trying to shelter the phone a little bit so the microphones don't get overwhelmed by any wind noise. Do let us know if it's particularly bad, and I'll try and move position. Yeah, that's what I thought. I might just go further down, actually. Bear with us. Hopefully that should be better now with the noise, with the wind, because I'm just a bit further down in a dip. In fact, there's no wind here now. I think there's a tree behind us. How would you say it is now? Is it still pretty noisy? Wow, okay, that sucks. I don't know where the microphones are. Maybe it's this top one. I'll try and block it off a little bit from the wind. But it's pretty calm where I am compared to what it was a minute ago. Definitely in business now. Just rearrange this camera a bit. Fortunately, it's just really high up. I'm not seeing one single bolt of lightning. Pretty sure I'll come here again in future though, when anything develops a little bit further north or south of here. This is great. I suspect this probably helps to get storms kicked off as well, because it seems to be the first part of the landscape that, you know, you get lift. Nice one, buddy. Go away, fly. So the plan was to stream directly from my camera, which has some noise suppression on it. Put some little wind reducers over the microphone holes. Surprisingly active, actually. But yeah, the plan was to connect my actual camera up to the phone. I got a little HDMI output or capture device which plugs into the phone, but unfortunately it outputs at 720p and it absolutely kills the quality. I recorded a few test streams last week, and yeah, I'd say it's like watching a PS2 game. If anyone's played the old PS2, they know what I'm talking about. That's pretty dark right above me here as well. But roll on the nighttime storms. That's a different ball game altogether then. Come on, just throw down one big bolt of lightning. Wind started to increase again a little bit after going quiet for a while. Oh, there was a flash then. I don't know if it got picked up. pheasants are having a good time. Nice one. Good to know. Is it still further east? Sort of over near where it was before, or is it starting to be a little bit further to the west now? Come on. Tell you what, it's getting quite a bit darker. You can see the rain core. I think I'm going to point it a little bit more this way. Let me just rotate this round. We want this to go mental. I think I can hear some rumbling off to my east, but it could be planes also. Pretty clear to my north, so it looks like I'm literally on the northern edge of this. Nice one. That's perfect. I was looking at the screen, so I missed it. Oh well, I can look back later. But this is kind of peak time now, I think. What time are we on? Because that's all right. The missus won't be expecting me back for a little while yet. Snuck off and did a cheeky storm chase. But noticeably darker to my south now, so you might see the odd bolt of lightning get kicked out, because it's all been in the cloud so far. Good to have a little funnel cloud come down. I think that was a flash as well. Battery light on that. There is a tiny little thing, on the left-hand side. I don't think it's going to develop into anything, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a lowering to the left-hand side, and that light as that base. It's just appeared very quickly. Let me know if you can see it. I don't think, I'd be shocked if it does go on to develop anything more. But on the left hand side, there's definitely a little lowering that's just appeared very quickly. Could just be scud. It's moving around quite a bit, so keep an eye on that area. I don't know if you can see it, but I'd say it's sort of not quite halfway in the screen, about just before a third of the way along. There's something going on there for sure. It must be coming out better on the phone than I can see, because I'm not seeing any. Did you see a CG, did you say? Or cloud to cloud, probably, actually. I guess that bodes well, though, actually. That little bit that I was just talking about, you can see a few little sort of tufts coming down from the clouds. The sort of base of it on the left-hand side. Oh, yeah, yeah. Maybe that's part of the updraft, which means it's still building, so... I'm hearing distant thunder from somewhere else as well. It's still beautiful blue behind me. What a place. Yeah, getting darker to my east. Are these, if anyone can check, are these being picked up on lightning maps by any chance? I've always been a bit unsure with lightning maps whether it just picks up cloud to cloud, sorry, cloud to ground, or whether it picks up all types of lightning. It's not moving quickly either, is it? It's plenty warm as well, and the wind's died off noticeably so. This one's gone quiet now. I was in two minds whether to put the stream on, but as long as it's clear enough that it doesn't look completely terrible. Ooh. Yeah, the footage that I looked back at the other day when I was on the chase towards Wales, yeah, most of the time that thing looked horrible, that stream. But yeah, this might be it for a little while. Obviously, we've got this lovely weather coming back in for the rest of the week. And yeah, who knows how long it's going to last for. I mean, it will break at some point, but we don't want just prevailing westerlies and stuff like that, because that's just pretty boring. Bit of rain wouldn't go amiss for a lot of farmers, obviously. But yeah, if we can get all that rain just by having lots of thunderstorms, I'd take that. I'm sure most of us would. Yeah. Still getting slightly darker to my left-hand side, to the east, which is over towards Basingstoke, as you pointed out. Whereabouts is Overton? Is that sort of Basingstoke way? .140 of a second. What am I doing? What? No. Tell you what, it's lovely here. Literally no wind at all now, and it's so warm. Yeah, I think this might be decaying now. Nothing shows up in the next sort of couple of minutes. I think I might knock the stream on the head and just sit tight for a little bit and see if anything else makes its way over towards me. But if I swing this round, let's see if I can just rotate this. That's what we've got to the north. The view's absolutely amazing up here. You can just see for miles and miles. Got a nice little bit of cumulus knocking about. Nothing. I don't think that's going to go on to develop into anything really. It's everything that's going to kick off today, I think, is in this sort of area, right ahead of us. What's good about this spot as well is it's pretty hard to get to, so I don't think it's going to ever get that busy. So if there are any storms ever traipsing up towards sort of Oxford, north of Oxford into the Midlands, I think this would be an amazing spot to come and photograph them and film them. So I'll definitely be up here again in future. I could probably go to the top of the hill a little bit, walk up, but I always like to stay near the car just in case it starts chucking it down. Yeah, I think this is past now, so it is developing a little bit further over. I'll just show you over that way. I might have just heard thunder to my east, so maybe not, I don't know. Definitely wasn't a plane, so who knows. Yeah, that's what I thought. Is it just for this storm, or is it pretty much quietening off all over? Hello, B. I think that bee was desperate to be on the stream. Yeah, I thought I just saw a flash actually. being harassed by a bumblebee. I mean, obviously, as it's moved off, I can't hear anywhere near as much now, so. Is anything kicking off over Wales yet? Because I know that's kind of the highest risk area today. And there's no way I was going to travel over that far. One, you've got to get there. Two, you don't know if the storms are going to materialise. And three, it's driving back at the end of it if you don't see anything. That's the depressing part. I'm sure I'm imagining this, but I could have swore I just saw a bolt of lightning to my left, but I don't. Trowbridge. Okay. Yep. Yeah. 100% it's darkening to the east of me, and kind of, I assume it's kind of over towards Basingstoke way. There must be some heavy rain over that part. Let's see if I can focus on that. Yeah, I think this is kind of redeveloping. So if I turn this back around, I'll just move that. That I think is going to develop into something. That sort of, as it's going off towards that hill. Southwest of Basingstoke. Okay, so again, that's probably going to come right for me because it's that sort of area. So that's good news, I'd say. But whether it stays electrified or not, because none of these storms have been particularly active. It's desperate times at the moment, so. Yeah, all that lot is probably pushing over towards Salisbury, I reckon, or maybe trying to work it out where roughly I am. It's hard to tell when you're in a new landscape where things are moving off to. But if you're in that sort of, I mean, you just have to look at the radar and you'll see it. Anywhere in that zone is potential, I think, and still relatively early in the day, getting on for 4. So yeah, I can see now there's a clearing over towards the south. There's a few towers, I wouldn't call them towers, but a bit of convection bubbling up over there, and then you can see it darkening off over to my east. So this could be the next batch to develop, so I'm going to hang tight for a little while. I think this, even if it did throw out anything, I'm not convinced it's going to be particularly visible. But it is getting very dark to the east of me, so hopefully this thing goes bonkers. So what area are you in? Are you fairly local, or are you just as storm starved as most of us? Tell you what, it is getting noticeably. Yeah, it's. I mean, even in the south, there's always that joke where you've got, Kent Clippers, but even that seems to be hard to get at the moment. So I think I'm not convinced we're done yet. I'm really starting to think. I mean, if I turn this around I need to try and find a better spot because that is looking pretty ominous over there. But again, I'm not too sure whether it's actually producing anything electric wise. Turn this off for a bit, I think. Wasting battery. Yeah, I did a stream back in August last year while I was over in France visiting family, and all day they were forecasting. This is in Burgundy in France, and it's strangely enough, just by chance, it happens to be one of the most storm affected areas in the whole of France. Pretty incredible, to be fair. Yeah, it's definitely getting darker though to my east, so there's something's coming this way. It's either developing or it's about to go nuts. So I think, yeah, I think we might be in a good spot here when it does kick off. Because as this gets closer, it's going to encounter these hills and it's going to want to lift up even more, I'm sure. So that's obviously maybe wishful thinking from my slightly amateurish meteorological knowledge. But if I was just a layman, if I was just sort of out in the middle of nowhere and I saw what was over to my east coming to me, I'd be like, yeah, there's a storm coming. So sometimes you just have to trust your instincts and maybe not get too wrapped up in looking at the radar. And I mean, obviously these tools help, but I still think that there's something innate within humans where you can tell. Nature, like animals, they certainly get the memo usually when there's a storm on its way. So yeah, but again, you also have to have a heavy dose of wishful thinking when you have this as a hobby. It's probably not good really, because you get your hopes up far too often. Right, I think I'm going to make a little journey up the hill and see if I've got a better view to my east, and then we'll see. So I'm going to pause it for like 5 minutes. See you soon. Sorry, no can do. I'm going to keep them all for myself. But I'm actually, I don't know if you can tell from my accent, I'm actually from the north of England, Blackpool to be precise. And all my family are from Bury, good old Bury. So I have fond memories of going to see my auntie and uncle in the summer. I think probably around 1990 there were some absolutely incredible storms. And I remember looking, this was way before I was really interested in storms, obviously, and I was pretty much terrified. And yeah, I would I must have been interested enough because I was up at the window looking out, and they were horrendously savage. Like when you talk about bolts of lightning coming down, I remember like seeing like 3 or 4 bolts at a time, like raining down for like an hour or two. Yeah, right. I'm gonna walk up this hill. I'm gonna keep the camera going. Let's see if I can walk with this. Try not to fall off this hill. But yeah, you can see people walk up here, so I think we're all right. Try not to fall. I have a feeling when we get to the top of this hill, you're going to see. Assuming that I can get a good viewpoint. Come for a walk with me. Oh, I bet people have fun driving on this. God damn. Let me see if I'm walking up a hill, my backpack and the camera. Whew. Just trying to walk up this hill to get a good view of what's coming. See that over there? You think it's just a little hill. It just keeps going. I'm going to be on the top of that hill because I reckon there's an amazing view over there. Let's keep it going. It's not as steep. If anybody's watching me, they must think I'm an absolute nutter. Peasants are having a good time. This really must be incredible up here. With storm. There we go. We've got thunder to the east. Let's get set up. It's probably a little bit risky actually, because I'm actually going away from the car by quite a bit and on top of a hill. That never seems to. I just need to get to the opposite side of it. You can see how dark it is over there.
Just hope it was worth it. I do have a habit of killing off storms by chasing them. So a lot of planes about. Alright, I'll go by this gate. Or do I need to carry on a bit more? Right. I reckon the rain's not far off, actually. There's two bits of activity. Probably get a better view if I move this a bit. You see that heavy rain to the left just near the bush. So that's the first part. But looking at the clouds, which way are they going? That might be pushing away actually. Bit of darkening to my east, like to sort of northeast. That should push directly over me. This is going to drift off in front. Let's get this straight. Afternoon. That's actually encouraging. I had my other camera set up earlier to try and get some daytime lighting, and I had to get it all the way to f20 to be able to get it into the right exposure bracket. I managed to bring it down to f11, so that is substantially darker than what I was looking at earlier, so that could be a good sign. Nice one. It does look pretty impressive over off in the distance, but as with all these things, it might be a little bit beyond what I can see at the moment. I can't hear anything. I haven't heard any thunder for about 5 minutes as I was walking up that hill, getting extremely out of breath. But it's dark enough and heavy enough out there, I think, to potentially give us something, but it is just hoping at the moment. I would love just a few nice big bolts of lightning, eh? Deep rumbles of thunder. Hard to know what's happening with that. What was originally focused on, that was given as the thunder and lightning earlier. I think that's probably I mean, there's all possibility that that thing could develop further. This is what it looks like to my south, so my guess is that sort of Southampton way. Can you zoom in? That's a bit too zoomed in. Oh, maybe you can. There you go. Yeah, so that's over towards Southampton. Camera, hello camera. And then that was what we had before. I'm gonna keep that there for now. Has it gone completely? Or is it just sounds really bad? Obviously, when I'm handling the camera, it's going to sound awful. So I should probably hold off speaking when that's when I'm moving it around. Hopefully that should be better now. Did I see a flash then? Or maybe it's just bees. There's definitely, looks like it could be developing kind of in front of me, which would be good, because that I might end up heading back down the hill. If this cuts in front of us where I was before, that should give us some pretty good views. And now that the light levels are starting to drop, we're going to have a much better chance of seeing something. So yeah. It's proper dark over there. Just nothing coming out. Not even any thunder. Ooh, shit. Tell you what, got to have your wits about you when you're trying to photograph stuff like this. I've been having the other camera at the ready just in the hope something would start kicking off. And there you go. We have thunder again. Truth be told, I'd be completely shocked if we didn't, looking at how dark it is to my south. So, but yeah, I've just refocused the camera. I feel like this is probably a good field of view. It's not too wide, not too zoomed in. It's gone calm before the storm, as they say. Any CGs that come out of this thing now, they'll definitely be visible. So are you guys on Weather Fans or YouTube? Obviously you must have been subscribed to get the notification, because I think this only goes out to people who are subscribed. So Tell you what, it's still looking quite nice to the south. It's got some lovely convection going on, but nothing to write home about. But this is very, very threatening. And right in front of me, it's gone pretty dark. So, like, it's actually getting pretty darker above me. So, good job I'm not on the top of a hill or anything, is it? I know the chances of being struck by lightning are ridiculously slim. But that would... It's raining. Oh, that was flash, I think. Definitely a flash just then. Nice one. It is raining, but I'm hoping, more than praying to be honest, that this just shifts off slightly to the south of me so I don't have to move, because there's no shelter up here, so if it does start kicking it, like chucking it down, I might have to put my camera... The phone will be alright. I think that's pretty waterproof. Gonna be a big one in a second, I reckon. Cheers, man. Yeah, I mean, live stream, I gave it a go last year for the first time, and anybody who tuned in, I mean, I was sat in the field, like on the side of a hill, at like 1 o'clock in the morning in France, and I kind of bigged up the stream thinking it was going to be the most, because the storms there usually are absolutely like crazy, the amount of lightning. There was a tornado there back in 2008 or 9, I think it was. So they get some pretty... Did see a flash then. That was over to the left hand side as well, actually, which is good. Don't know whether that came on, whether you could see that on the stream. But yeah, I thought, you know what, why not give it a go? I've got my other camera set up, so I could kick that off and let it film in 4K and edit it later. But tell you what, it's bloody dark right in front of me. That could actually start kicking out something. Not above me, thank God. But yeah, this is... Yeah, good bunch on Weather Fans. Very dedicated. I know they put a lot of effort in to making it run as smoothly as it does. You know, as we all know, Facebook can be a bit of a cesspit at times, and you do get idiots sometimes posting rubbish and that. But for the most part, I think everybody just, you know, if you're interested in the weather and you love the weather, it's a great place to visit, great site. Same for NetWeather. I've been a NetWeather member since 2006, which is crazy to think. So yeah, that obviously, if you've been around long enough, you would have been on the BBC weather forum. That was fun and games back then, and that's when I really started to. I've always been a lover of storms, but truth be told, a good friend of mine, Gordon or Nodrog, we grew up just around the corner from each other, and he's always had an infectious love for the weather, and I think that rubbed off on me. But I'm interested in all things natural like phenomena, so it wasn't really that hard to get me hooked. So look at this. It's actually got a bit of structure to this now. There's I wouldn't say it's a lowering base or anything. If I pan this round, let me just get this, you'll see what I'm talking about if I zoom out. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to drop a tornado or anything, but yeah, he's like, yeah, we used to go out storm chasing together, and obviously I live at the other end of the country now, so if we were up north, we'd definitely be out all the time when you get a day like this. But no, it's at some point, I'm sure when the time's right and there's an event that comes along that, nothing's guaranteed in the weather, but at some point we're going to get one of these systems that shows up, which is going to be once in a 10-20 year event. Definitely lightning then. Oh, I might have captured that as well. Yes, definitely saw lightning. That's the first lightning I've seen. It wasn't to the ground or anything, but it's nice to see more than just a flash. Fortunately, the camera might start pulsing in and out a little bit. So yeah, he's he's got a lot of people into this hobby, and I think I love his videos as well. Yeah, Supercell's great as well. He amazes me. He's always sort of trekking all up and down the country. Weather fans, Liz, she's another trooper as well. Like, the distance she covers is quite phenomenal, and that's one of the things I've been reluctant to travel. Kind of, it's a bit of a gamble. You want to go out and obviously see a storm, but it's a bit disheartening. The first time I ever went storm chasing, I ended up in Brighton, travelling over from Christchurch, and didn't see a thing. Similar to Sunday. And when you have days like that, you kind of think, oh, I don't really want to be wasting fuel, and I've got a wife and kids at home who they all want to be doing stuff, and family time's important. So yeah, this has got nice structure to it, hasn't it? Nice little, it's not a shelf, but the storm's going right and that cloud is going left. That's that little bit that's formed in front of us. I think this is the easterly storm, if I'm honest, because it is pitch black, man. It's not pitch black. The camera will make it look brighter. The wind's picking up, but this is definitely doing something a little bit different. So the storm motion is travelling west, so from left to right. The wind's blowing towards me now as well. Again, I'm not saying it's going to drop a tornado or anything like that, but spin-ups are possible today. They won't be particularly, they're not going to be anything amazing, but I guess if you're on top of a hill, there's always that possibility. And there's still people going for a walk. You've got to admire them. Yeah, that cloud's coming towards me. Whatever that means. I'm sorry about the wind noise if that's starting, because the wind has switched direction, so it's blowing directly into the camera now. Hiya.
Are you watching the rain?
I'm waiting for storms.
Are you?
Yeah. It is. There is a bit over there, but I think it's just going to pass to the south of us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the hills divide it.
Are you local?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it steers them, does it?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I was talking about earlier. It just seems like this area, if they're coming up from that direction,
Yeah.
they hit this, and then yeah. I'm from the south coast, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always seeing
Well, when it comes up
fingers
from
crossed.
Southampton or whatever,
Yeah.
when it gets to Winchester,
Yeah.
it's too high.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of stops.
Yeah.
And if
Okay.
it's got real momentum, it keeps going a bit further.
Fine. Yeah. Because I'll be up here in future. I guess you get them tracking across that way as well, like
Yeah.
coming from London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, my daughter said there were thunderstorms this morning in London.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, that looks pretty epic over there. So
Yes.
should be all right though.
And if we get wet because we stop talking to you for a second,
Good luck.
I hope you've got a waterproof for when it does come down.
Nah, I think we'll be all right. Optimistic. Oh, that was interesting actually. To speak to the locals, because like I say, I don't know this area, so how the topography sort of interacts with storms. Yeah, I don't know if you overheard that, but they were saying typically when storms are coming from the direction they are at the moment, they'll split. So they sort of hit Winchester and that sort of area, and then they'll sort of divide off. So some will go off down to the south, and some will sort of track further north. But yeah, that was nice to hear that actually. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one that's over easterly. I'm going to move this. Let's just move this around a little bit. I'm going to zoom in over there because that might be a little bit too zoomed in. Come on. Zoom out a bit. There we go. Some interesting. Come on, focus. Now let's zoom back out, shall we? Yeah, so bit of development over to the south. It's gone quiet again though. Yeah, I think there is the odd flash still. So definitely got some interesting cloud motion, because you can see that sort of cloud that I was focusing in on originally is moving towards me. So that must be, I guess it's outflow. Anybody who's more knowledgeable about this stuff than I am, then yeah, please free to put something in the chat so I know. It's definitely gone to an offshore, sorry, an inshore breeze. Which I mean, I say inshore. We're quite a bit further in now, so inland. Yeah, I guess it's probably good actually being up here, because like that lady said, you know, if you've got a storm coming towards you, the fact that it's able to split it, I mean, it is pretty crazy to think if that is the case. And she said obviously if they're really strong storms, then they've got enough to sort of they'll just cross straight over this area. It must be pretty epic when it does happen. I reckon if you're closer to the coast, you're probably seeing quite a few. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a funnel cloud reported of one or two over sort of easterly way, Southampton. Yeah, I'm just too far north. And I'm not, you know, if I got in the car now and tried heading that direction, with the roads the way they are, I doubt I'd get into any decent position for it. And it's still dark enough directly ahead that there's still a possibility something could develop here, so I'm going to hold off moving, because I think these have probably got about another hour or so left in them at the most, and then after that I would have thought that would be it. They'll die off quite quickly. How many bolts is it kicking out, would you say? Is it quite active, or is it sort of similar to what we were seeing earlier? Borderline ready to go back down the hill, actually, because I think I might have a better view to where that storm's darkened, because I thought this was going to push more to the east, sorry, just to the south of me, because it was kind of anything from that direction was coming directly towards us, but this looks like it's now moving sort of either directly west or sort of southwest even, because that's the sort of motion it seems to look at. But could be just the way the sort of the convergence is developed. No thunder heard for a little while though. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move slightly back further down the hill, because this hill is now in the way. So give us 5 and I should be back into a decent spot, so hopefully we can see this to the south, because it's still quite dark, so there's a chance that we could get something in front of us. But if you're saying most of it's over Eastleigh way, that's still quite a bit south of here, so yeah. Know what's going to happen now. I'm going to move the camera and something's going to kick off. Well, at least I get to walk down the hill. And what we have to remember as well is that it's still early. Bloody wind's picking up. Yeah, it's still early in the year. I mean, it's only May 13th today, May 14th, whatever it is. So in the grand scheme of things, we've got a long way to go this year. And if the same pattern repeats itself as the last two or 3 years, there's been some great storms as we've sort of the sort of back end of summer or /autumn. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited about. Yeah, it's I might stop the stream in like a few minutes just to have a look at the radar, sort of get an idea of what's happening, if it's worth heading south, and obviously check in on the let the family know that I'm going to be a bit late today. So I guess also, if you've got, next time there's going to be an aurora display, this would be a great place to visit as well, because the north, like this is the view to the north. You see everything. Definitely a lot more wind now. It's still pretty dark to the left of me, which makes me think something could be developing here as well, especially with all this wind. So if you just tuned in, I'm just heading back down the hill a little bit to get a bit of a better view to myself. That's the plan anyway. There's a bit of a valley which I should be able to see down, so bloody flies. That wind is proper getting going now. Yeah, we should have a good spot when we get down to the bottom of it. That's if I don't roll my. Yeah, I think this is going to give us a much better viewpoint in a second. But it might be that this is still too far south, so, and I haven't heard thunder for a little while, so we'll get to the bottom of this hill, sort of check to see if anything is still going, and if it is, great. If not, then I think I'll call it a day. I didn't realise how much I'd walked up this bloody hill. No wonder I was out of breath. Yeah, it's well dark. Absolutely pitch black to the south. Bet farmers love driving up here. Oh yeah, she's black over there. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry about the noise of this. Yeah, tipping it down. Got some nice rain bands. Woo, it's windy. Oh no, I don't want them bloody cables there. Gotta move down a little bit further. Bit better. Whew. Yeah, it looks a lot more impressive in real life than but. really heavy rain just to myself now. So I guess the one good thing about today is it's practice for when the main course arrives, whenever that'll be. Just having a little look above me just in case. Oh, that was the lightning. Did I get it? The bolt just in front. Yes, that is cool. So yeah, just saw a bolt of lightning in front. I've managed to capture it on my camera. Just the bottom of it though. Unfortunately, now that the wind's picked up, it's going to be difficult to hear thunder, but I can just about hear it. But keep watching, you might capture a few bolts of lightning, because I've just seen one come down. Hopefully that showed up on lightning maps. It'd be great to have a really bright one. Bit of rain. It's proper chucking it down, man. Yeah, I think you would have got that. I might point this more that way. It's kind of the direction that we need to be looking. You can see the heavy rain just off to the left of the centre. And it was probably where the centre of the camera's pointing now is where I saw the lightning come down. So come on, we want more. What sort of, roughly what area is that? Because I those names mean nothing to me. If you could be a little bit more sort of general, like Basingstoke or Southampton, Winchester, that would be really helpful. I want to try and shelter it from the wind, the camera. Unfortunately, I can't do much when it's right in front.
West of Winchester. Yeah, so that must be what I'm looking at now. But my guess is most of it, either I can't hear it because of the wind. Yeah, actually the wind's calming down, so either I can't hear it because of the wind, because with my massive big ears, they're like sails, so all I can hear is it's probably worse than what you're experiencing right now. But yeah, I mean, I've managed to capture one bolt of lightning on my stills camera, which is kind of the only thing I was hoping to do. Kind of why I bought this camera, is for trying to capture lightning bolts during the day, and the fact that I've managed to do that. I've still got to see if it suffers from something called, it's kind of like a rolling shutter thing. So if you're recording a video with a storm, and you sometimes yeah, so this thing will capture like the last half a second. So as long as I press the shutter a second, it should capture. But I haven't seen anything for a little while. So everything to the east is pretty much dying off now, is it? I guess this is the we had that little group that fired this sort of around 1 o'clock ish. My guess is that this is probably the straggling storm now, and else is dying off to the east of this. Oh, bolt! Just saw a bolt, but a little bit off to the left. Yeah. I reckon they're going to be in with a great show tonight as well. All into these sort of... Yeah. That's fine. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just happy to have got something. Yeah, it could have been worse today, I reckon. And yeah, this is kind of worst case scenario for this still setup. Like during daylight when the sun's up still, to capture any bolts of lightning, I've never been able to do that really in the day, so that's a win. I guess, yeah, we just have to be what would be great is to have a storm probably around sort of half an hour before sunset, when the light levels really start to dip. That would be, cherry on top, I think. But these bolts are not particularly strong from what I can see, and to be fair, they are more in that direction. Come on, focus. Yeah, I think I'll give it another 5 minutes and then that's it, I'll call it a day. My guess is, on radar, this is all starting to peter out anyway. But it'd be nice to have a really bright bolt of lightning, not just something that's kind of buried in the rain. That's always the problem. Yeah, most of it's moving off now, I think. Yeah, and if anybody's in the west, good luck for later. Especially into Wales, I think that's definitely been sort of the highest risk area today. Wales is doing really well this year. I think it seems to be the new storm capital. I just heard thunder, so it's still going. Go the other side of that bush. If it can just give us one last hurrah. Still pretty dark to the left hand side, isn't it? It's just too far south. Oh, lightning detection. That's the first notification I've got. Lightning strikes have been detected nearby. You know what? I'm going to move slightly because there's a little bush here which shelter the wind a little bit. Or maybe not. Yeah, it would have been great to have this just a little bit closer. Hi, running rig. Looks like this might be the last of it for my location. Not quite giving up hope just yet of seeing just one or two more bolts, but I think for the most part we're done.
And yeah, a couple of lightning bolts, so I can't complain. I'll pop them on the weather fans and net weather at some point later today. Probably once I've been home, had something to eat and that. Yeah, I'm hoping the stream's actually decent quality as well, because the signal, I've been getting a mixture between 5 and 4G, so I think it should be okay, but you don't know with these things until you watch it back. But the other day it was like I said, it was like watching a PS2 game. Worse in fact. Areas to the north must have had an absolutely gorgeous day, and that's probably what we're in for now for the next week or two. Just blue skies. I'm guessing areas further north must be having a lovely view of some of these cells. Right, I think it's time to call it a wrap. Thank you for everybody who's been on the stream, keeping us company, and cheers for the updates. They've been really helpful. I've got to probably drive south now in rush hour traffic, so that's going to be fun. But no, it's yeah, hopefully get home in time, just in time to see some of the storms kicking off in the west. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of pictures and videos surfacing on the old YouTube and Facebook and what have you. So yeah, it's no, it's, I mean, it's not an epic storm by any means, it's, you know, but yeah, it's good to just, I know if I was sat at home I'd be sat watching this as well. So now I really appreciate the updates, and there'll be more to come in future for sure. I've got my usual annual trip to France coming up in the summer in August, so fingers crossed. I've never not been to France and not got a storm. It's like every time I've ever been in the summer there's always been something, so I'd have to be extremely unlucky. So and last year it wasn't the best, to be fair, but I still managed to get some pictures of lightning. There is a stream that I posted. I didn't have it public for a long time because I didn't think anybody would sit and watch through it, but the nighttime one, if you go back and look through that, probably 5-10 minutes in, it starts to kick off a little bit, and there's a few CGs. Yeah, the one that I did during the day, that wasn't particularly fancy, to be honest. It was lots of high level stuff and you can't see anything on the camera. So yeah, if you just want to hear me droning on and on, then feel free. But yeah, thanks guys, and see you on the next stream hopefully, and yeah, hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Take care.